Good morning everybody. Today I would like to present my presentation about my research with the title Quality Improvement of Chicken Eggs through the Vaccine Schedule using Database Program System. Okay, eggs are part of output poultry which generally has high quality source of protein and nutrients. This chicken poultry industry is located in Binjai, Medan. And the chicken poultry industry produces products such as eggs, chicken meat and compost. Now, in the chicken poultry industry, often get complaints from the consumer because of the quality of the chicken eggs is not good or defective, such as mossy egg cells, broken egg cells, white egg cells, cursed egg cells, and the egg size getting smaller. Okay, that is due to inaccurate vaccine scheduling. By using this database management system, Microsoft Access method in this study, it was found that was a decrease in egg defect from the 4% to 2.2%. From this result, it can be concluded use the database management systems in vaccines that there is a significant decrease that can improve the egg quality. In the chicken poultry industry, we focus with the eggs because the egg has defects such as the kind of the defects. You can look here the picture. This one is the kind of the egg defects, such as the egg getting smaller, crossed egg cells, white egg cells, broken egg cells, and then mushy egg cells. And the novelty of the research is the researchers try to design the vaccine scheduling system by using database management system in this Microsoft Access, which is more accurate than activities which is the most accurate and effective compared to the manual scheduling system used to minimize vaccine failure with the cost disability to quality chicken egg. So here is the problem. The chicken egg stock is too much in the warehouse, that caused by the decline in the chicken egg demands in the chicken poultry industry. It gets problem that the customer get complaint with the chicken poultry stating that the quality of the egg is not good or defect. And the purpose of this research, the researchers want to analyze the quality control limits on chicken eggs at XYZ poultry. And the second is to make a quality improve on European chicken eggs product at XYZ poultry. The literature review. First, from the late J. Erwin Watson, Florencia Sampi, Fahmy Haliza Ali, and Ratna Siahan in 2019 said that eggs are part of the output of poultry which generally has a high quality source of protein and nutrients. Second is from Pujawinka A and Katazia Fox in 2015 said that controlling or managing is part of full mind managed functions followed by planning, organization, and leadership. Number 3 is from Runtuwen, VEGD, and FT in 2017. The quality, or usually we call quality, is one of the main things in an organization and company that produce output because the quality is used as a good way of the products of consumers. Number four is Okari, CEO RWC, and OZBAN in 2017 about quality control. It's related to activities of specification design, production, installation, and operation of statistical quality control or SQC, which include data collection, analysis, and then data tolerance. Number 5, according to Yunus MF and Dr. Angus Chun and Dr. Rosman Itang in 2017. Statistical Quality Control, or SQC, is generally similar with the Statistical Process Control, or we call SPC, known as the quality controlling equipment, so that the quality of the products are guaranteed and generally used in first phase and manufacturing or service. Number 6, Jodina or Joajo CO Matias and Susana G in 2016 about statistical quality control, or SQC. It's kind of tools to assist process management in determining and monitoring the quality of the products produced by the company. Number 7, according to KEI and Abu Zazi KA in 2017, this statistical quality control method used to check the bad products in detecting the problem in the production process. And then number 8, according to Deepak and Dheeraj Dirga in 2016, talk about checks. The checks is which usually we use to calculate any type of products that does not pass in the inspection or defective in a certain period based on the information that obey the decision making of the corrective action. Number 9, from Suryoputra M.R. Muhammad Sugarindra and Hendra Erfasalsyah in 2017, talk about Pareto diagram. Pareto diagram serves the group issue base. The Pareto diagram serves the group issue based on the cause and sign of the defect depicting using the bar graphs. To show the frequency with 100, showing the total loss with the principle of 80%, 20%, stating 80% of the defect based on 20% disability. Next, the number 10 from Sinsu EE and Siegfried F. Pangemanan in 2018. Talk about cause and effect diagram. Usually we call it fishbone. The fishbone is the fishbone diagram that is categorizing the cause of people, mechanical, material, the environment, and from the brainstorming with workers identify possibly cause of the problem. Number 11 from Neyastani B in 2017. Talk about histogram. Histogram is one tool like a bar graphs, which aim to show a frequency distributions. And then number 12 from Jodina R. Joajo CO Matias and Susana G in 2016. Talk about control chart. Control chart is like a control map that the tools is like a graphically used to monitor and evaluate it wherever the activities of the process is statistical quality control, and not that can solve the problem and the produce quality improvement. And number 13 from Jodina, Joajo, CO Matias and Susana G in 2016. Control chart also. This is P chart from statistical quality control. P chart is one of the control diagram and surveys the proportion of the unit that the suitable on the samples, whereas the proportion of the sample is the ratio of the output and amount, this not by following the under what is set. Next, number 14 from Nesiatani B in 2017 about scatter diagram. Scatter diagram is one of QC tools or quality control tools that describe the distribution of information in the two dimensions that can find the existence and identify to relation between two quality variables. Proficiency as a variable form free variable bonds. Number 15, according to Sembiring M and NJ Marbun 2018. Stratification. Stratification, this is the process of grouping a data defect occurring the production floor and then documenting it by categorizing it according to the same characteristics. And the last, number 16, according to Latif F and Anita Wirangga Pratama in 2015 about Microsoft Access. Microsoft Office Access is one of the data different processing program with the set of the interconnected and purposeful information facilitating user to present of the data managed from creation, report, and full support for the processing of various types of database. The methodology, the research methods that the researchers use is quantitative methods, and this the research examines this 8 defects from January 2019 until December 2019, located at Jalan Not Binjai. Method that we use, that the researchers use is statistical quality control or QC. It's related to 7 tools. Database management system. We use Microsoft Access application. Here is the result checksheet data collection. You can see this is the data collection. From this one is the month, the sample of the chicken eggs, and then this one is kind of the defects eggs. From this data collection, we get the proportion of the defects is 4%. To count it, we take total defects, we define with total production and times 100% and we get 4%. After checksheet collection data finish, we continue with control chart. From the checksheet collecting data, we can calculate the proportion of the defects. And after we calculate the proportion of the defects, we calculate the center line, upper control limit, lower control limit. After we have the data collection, we do the control chart diagram. You can see this one is the control chart diagram. The green one is the upper control limit, the red one is the center line, and the purple one is the lower control limit. And the blue one is the proportion of the defects. After we're done with our control charts, we continue with cause and effect diagrams. Usually we call it fishbone diagram. Here in the fish head, we have the problem, the product defects. And then the body of the fish, we have the cause of the problem. We split into 5 kinds, such as material, method, environment, tool or machines, and human. First, we discuss about the material. The material is the failed caused by the failed dimension medications. The second is there is a reduction of the net amount of raw material if the price of the raw material is sold. And then next we discuss about humans. Humans caused by the employee forget the vaccine schedule. And then the second is neglected of the employee in the cleaning and neglected in the filling chicken drinking water tanks. And then from method, there is no quality control in the animal farms, animal feed sections. Next, from the environment the fly scares, fires, and the disease from the other farms. Next, the second is change in the weather that can change the immune system of the chicken to be weak. And then, from two or more scenes, the refrigerator temperature was not too cold that can make the vaccine medication become broken. So, from this Swiss diagram, we can know that the most of the main cause the problem is from material. It means that the vaccine medication. So, from this cause effect diagram, we know we want to rescheduling the vaccines with the technology computering with the application Microsoft Access. After we're done with our Fishbone diagram, next we continue with our Pareto diagram. But by asking the workers in the palm tree, we get the main cause, and then by the opinion we get the frequency. Which one the workers in the palm tree choose, and we get the frequency. Then we calculated the cumulative frequency, and we calculated to percentage, and then from this data collection we get the Pareto diagram. That's the diagram, Pareto diagram. So the tolerance is vaccination. So we must rescheduling the vaccination to be more effective and accurate. After finish with our Pareto diagram, next we continue to histogram. Histogram is we get the frequency from Pareto diagram just now, and then make the Pareto diagram that can solve the highest cause of the problem here. After we're done with our histogram, we next continue to the scatter diagram, and here is the data collection from the data collection check sheet. And the scatter diagram make the classification of the defect products into a different characteristics, so we can see the defect product clearly. Scatter diagram, we continue with stratification. Stratification is show the tables that there's a defect, and here is the cause. And this number comes from the opinion from the poultry industry. Data that we get from the 7 tools, we can conclude that the main cause the defect product is the vaccination schedule. So the researchers decided to make a schedule vaccination by using database management system with Microsoft Access. Here is the result that we call reports vaccination scheduling by using Microsoft Access. First, before we get the report, we make a data form. Make a data form for the vaccination, for the chicken, for the medicine, for the vaccinator, and for the medicine stock. After we get the table form for them, and then we make a relationship. We make a relationship to join them, and then we get the query. After we get the query, we can know which one is the chicken already have been get the vaccination or not. We can see in this report that show the date of the vaccination, type of the chicken, the death of the chicken come in, and then the quantity of the chicken, the gender, and the name of the medicines, the quantity of the medicine, expiry date of the medicine, the name of the vaccinator, and the vaccinator organization company. Then is the last, the important one is the have been vaccinated or not. After we apply the database management system by using Microsoft Access, we do data processing again by using CheckSet. After we apply the Microsoft Access, we make the data collection again with the same defect such as white excels, messy excels, cross excels, broken excels, and excrete. It means small, the egg getting smaller. And with this data collection, we get the proportion of the defect is 2.2% only. This is the decrease of the proportion of the defects eggs from 4% to 2.2%. And here's the control chart after we apply the database management system with Microsoft Access, the vaccination scheduling. This one, proportion of the defect we get from the data collection check just now, and then we calculated the center limit, upper control limit, and lower control limit, and we get and you can see the control chart here by counting the data completion here. The proportion of the defect is not too up and not too down with the control limit. So the proportion of the defect means that the proportion of the defect is still in the control limit. So, and overall, for the conclusion, the result of the egg defect data collection, it can be calculated that the percentage of the disability level research is 4%. Firstly, the SR chart, control chart, the UCL result of is 0.0605 and the CL amount to 0.0373 and the LCL amount to 0.0141. The most dominant cause of the egg defect is inaccurate vaccination scheduling data. So after we apply the scheduling vaccination with Microsoft Access, the percentage of the disability decreased to 2.2. This is the end of my presentation. I would like to say thank you very much.